We fear the internet's going to be awful.
Oh, yeah. If you're on a phone, Wi-Fi would be a bad idea during the show. The Berliners' internet's not notoriously... It's notoriously bad. Yeah, words.
Hey, are we on the internet? At least their camera's great. Your camera's amazing, guys.
Awesome.
It's because
I've had camera issues before, and I didn't know how to fix them. I just started hitting buttons.
It's the subject of technology.
We know, John.
Should I try to Yugo it?
And we don't care.
It won't work.
Okay. So, since we're already sort of streaming live on the internet right now.
Oh, are we?
I mean, kind of. Mark, are we good?
Yeah.
Cool, let's have a show.
Says we're live.
How's the open go, Dave?
Welcome to SonarFeed! I'm not Yugo.
I think you just broke the board.
This is episode 238, and no, you're wrong.
No,
you're wrong.
Actually, you're all wrong. So.
Oh, that's right, Rachel's here. We are screwed.
Yep.
I didn't know he was going to do
Wrong
that.
in life
so.
anyway, so this isn't any different.
I think that's my best attempt at a Yugo.
That actually was pretty good.
It was pretty good. So
Sorry.
we're just for those of you that have, what would you say? Born with us, bared with us, born with us.
Put
right?
up with this shit.
Dealt with?
Those of you that would have put up with the shit for about a half an hour, we're on effectively computer 3
Four, technically.
of the day. We didn't run out of beer yet, but we are at the Berliner Pub.
3rd and Main, downtown Renton.
If we run out of beer, I walk.
Mark is out. So we are. We have some slight alterations to the crew here tonight, and we do have some beautiful
Thanks for remembering that.
lighting.
And when he comes back from a smoke, can we get a fire going?
One of us will remember.
I think he already came back.
Next time we see him, somebody say,
Yes,
please
we'll-
start the fire.
We'll flag. So aside from
Because
us
we
being
didn't
clunky-
start the
clunky
fire.
Thanks, Mark. Clunky for a minute here. We should probably maybe introduce ourselves. So on the left of your screen, the jittery camera. That's me,
It's nervous.
Tom Biro, a.k.a. Bougie Hooley, and
Mark, a.k.a. SSFC Fody 13.
and to your right, my left,
Dave Clark at Better Than. To my left, your right is special guest number 1.
Rachel, Alonsi Rachel.
And Megan at Sugar Toast.
They are going to be our experts for half the show regarding Disney and all of the show regarding us being wrong.
I have to tell you, I am so pleased that we went down that route during last week's show, because after going to the game on Saturday night, I was one of the first things I thought of when I was at Temple afterwards was, what are we possibly going to talk about on Monday, other than, roster construction and designated players or lack thereof, and as it turns out, we have a Disney bracket because shit talking will ensue. Anyway, should we maybe talk about... You can have a napkin. Should we talk about soccer for a minute? Maybe?
Thanks, Dad.
You're welcome. So there was a game on Saturday.
Was there, though?
I mean, I was
Montreal
at
played,
one.
so
One team was
To
there.
be fair, there was some decent soccer.
Was there?
There was.
not on our pitch.
There was the one that I thought was going to score, didn't score, but
Thank you.
Fire is about to happen here at the Berliner.
Fire.
No,
Fire.
no.
Their supporters group just got suspended 2 games.
Ooh, for what?
2 away games. Throwing shit on the field
Do they even
at Minnesota. Yeah. Because Portland's all over the country.
Oh,
That was wonderful.
that was a good burn, Dave. I'm really proud of you.
I didn't see
actually.
that coming at all.
No.
I'm super proud of you right now.
Yes.
So anyway, there was this game on Saturday. I think we all went into it with. I think everyone tried to be hopeful. I had literally a photographer who we know walk up to me on the front rail before the game, and he's like, "How are you guys feeling today? Are we optimistic?" And I was like, "I mean, you have to be optimistic. Like that's what we're here for. You expect to be able to have a go on any given night."
Expect nothing.
Expected to have a go. That said, I think going into it, I did expect to maybe see Osvaldo Alonso as we approached the weekend, and maybe some other things. And what we ended up with was face smacking, no goal, no points, no nothing. Again.
One of my favorite things about the face smacking was while everybody was arguing about whether or not it was in fact a face smacking is one of the Sounder at Heart staffers is in the section where it happened, but about 15 rows back. And he goes, I mean, like I heard it. So he probably connected. I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, we're
Done.
good. It's a good red. Like, yeah, okay. I'm like, I know where your seats are. If you heard it, that's not the mild tap that some people were trying to claim it was. Hey, I'm just lovingly tapping you across the face that people can hear rows behind me.
Which is awful. So, and having been in the section at the time, didn't really know what went down. Saw the altercation in general, thought we saw some things, but you never really know from that distance away if anything gets connected or not. And then I had run up to the concourse a little bit later, and someone's like, "Oh, did you see the replay?" And I'm like, "No, because I was in the section. Sorry." And they're like, "Oh, look." And I was like, "Oh, that's not great."
And I guess on the Joe TV side, the replays took quite a while to find the actual angle where you could see the like they kept showing the undercut as somebody who like I have a bad hip because I got undercut. I would have been fine with that being a red, but that's just because of my personal tragedy. But so they're just showing the undercut, and Casey Keller's like, I have no idea why that's a red, and Steve Zakuani's like, I have no idea why that's a red. And then a few minutes later, they got the right angle, and they get to walk it back. And they're like, oh, yeah, that's a red. It's a not enforced often enough, maybe.
No,
But
the
Yeah.
problem is you make any sort of contact with anyone's face, pretty much ever,
well, no.
you're getting a card.
Sebastian Blanco didn't.
Well,
He
really
grabbed
debate
Christian
that?
Roldan by the neck.
well, it was against the Sounders, so
And
you got a home team.
Seattle may be collecting a little bit of a reputation as a violent team.
They're like if you spend any time watching an NFL, you can just not tune in for like 3 years and then just randomly pick up a Raiders game. And I like the Raiders. You'll just tune in and they'll have 15 penalties in the first half. And you're like, how do you even do that?
Well, here's what's really weird about the Sounders is last year they had basically the same number of red cards as everyone else, but they don't commit the same number of fouls. So, like, the normal run of play stuff, they're like, no, we're really nice and kind and gentle, and then, like, they get angry and they retaliate. And I think that's probably why they get more reds than their foul calls would indicate.
Also, is it more home losses than last year?
They do already have more home losses in 2018 than they did in 2017.
I mean, that seems like it could be a bad sign. I don't know.
Well, but they only had one last year, so it was pretty likely that it was going to be more this year.
But like 3 games in.
I mean, they could go undefeated for the rest of the...
Sure. and they'd still have more home losses than last season.
Last season was
No,
unusual.
I understand. It's just one of those things where you're like, oh, when it rains, it pours, especially with statistics.
They also had 2 home wins.
They did.
I mean, everybody that liked to claim that the CCL was extraordinarily important is now like, oh, those games didn't happen. They're 0-3.
No.
It's like, well, no, they had
Yeah.
2
They're
home wins.
2-5.
It's not much better, but
There are wins at least.
man,
We have
remember
to
the
give a shout
Santa?
out. Mark is engineering it up tonight, so I appreciate your fervor. How's your chicken?
He says it's good. He's not on mic today. Proud of Mark because it's been about a year since he had to do this.
Well,
Heck, it's been like
it's been a minute.
it's been since he was in Russia since I had to do it.
And to be clear, Mark did drive to Fry's to get a piece of technology in order for us to put the show on tonight. So we'll,
Mark's the hero.
yeah.
He
You know what?
failed to
This is
buy a dongle.
No dongles.
No dongles.
So, anyway, so we saw a lot of different. We've seen a lot of different things, or we've read a number of different things. You potentially heard a few things in your ear since Saturday night, but one of which that Sounded Hard had covered was sort of Schmetzer's comments about whatever it was, violent conduct or whatever the phrase was.
Yes, Spencer Davis wrote the story. He phrased it as like an ultimatum, but basically Schmetz is saying that if this continues, players are not going to be in the 11. And I'm like, okay, Tony Alfaro not in the 11, not a big deal. Clint Dempsey, healthy scratch because he's too violent. Bad. Like, I don't know that this team can survive that. Kelvin Leardom, healthy scratch. But we can't, like, those are probably, I mean, it's not going to be Stephen Fry because that man doesn't do this kind of stuff, but those are the goal scorer, of which maybe Clint Dempsey is the best remaining goal scorer on the team. And
it's not
right back
close.
are the weakest positions on the roster right now. And those are the 2 players that have made these errors. So if Schmetz is true, that it's a brave choice, and it really shows, 1, trust in his other players, and 2, that it's Schmetzer's locker room, not the players' locker room.
Right.
Which some people might question at this point with the amount of retaliation that's happening. Because remember, Kelvin Leardom got a yellow against Dallas, basically screaming in anger at a dive. Now, it was a dive, but his reaction was a little bit over the top because he wasn't given a yellow card until he reacted. It was just a foul. And yes, the guy dove, but it was a foul. The guy dove trying to get it to be a red.
Right.
So Kelvin Leardom used some of the words you're not supposed to use and earned himself a yellow for yelling at a player.
I mean, do we really think it's just hangover, though? This feels bigger than just, I was pissed off last week, and now I'm pissed off this week.
Well, at this point, they're pissed off about, is it 4 straight losses? 4 of the last 5 all competitions are losses.
Yeah.
So, it's... And the only
Mark was
win
hungover, by the way, off mic.
It's very surprising.
Yeah.
I
No
can't
one
believe
saw
such
that
things.
coming.
And that win was just a 1-0. Like, they scraped it out against Chivas USA, or Chivas, the
Actual Chivas.
The other one.
actual Chivas. Yeah, not fake Chivas, not reborn Chivas. So yeah, I understand they're frustrated. I think every fan at this point is frustrated. It's just what you're going to do with that frustration. Are you going to tap it in the nuts, or slap them in the face, or are you going to score a goal in anger? I'd prefer they score goals in anger. I want that version of angry Clint Dempsey. You know, the one where like they clip him from behind in like the 8th minute.
He really
Down in
likes going
Portland.
against the TA though when he does that. So.
I really like
I
Clint Dempsey
need
coming
that
in the
angry.
70th minute and just devastating people. That's also fun to watch. But angry Clint Dempsey, that's like anger for good. That's the angry Clint
When he
Dempsey
channels
we
it
need.
like Hulk, that's the Clint Dempsey I want. Instead of channeling it like Bucky.
Wow.
Hey, we're gonna get nerded out later in an area where I'm not an expert, so I need to.
So do we... I don't like the fact that there's another week off at all here. I think it's not helpful.
It would have been great if they were in CCL, right?
Oh. Wow, Dave.
Too soon.
What the hell?
Just dig that knife in a little deeper.
Actual too soon.
I'm looking forward to watching TFC and Red Bull in the
Yeah.
semifinals.
It's a weird thing to say.
So in this situation, and Mark, and Rachel and Megan, please jump in on this. Like, do you think this week off makes it worse?
Yes.
Because I think there's a 0% chance that it's any better with the week off. Right? Worse? Worse.
Because then it just festers and there's nothing to do but dwell on how terrible things have been. So it's not helpful in any way.
You could talk about, what's his name, Capel's
How we
hamstring
destroyed
tear.
someone's
Not pulled
career,
hamstring.
probably.
He hadn't
Torn
played in 8 months
hamstring.
already, so
Yeah. Well, he had the potential.
he didn't get
because
the resurrected career.
We were probably going to sign him, and then
We did make our resurrection jokes last week, so they were timely. But that didn't really work out for us. But signings aside, and sort of the off-the-field transaction stuff, like if you're a player, I think in this situation, we've probably heard that cliche interview 750,000 times of, man, I wish we could just go back out on the field this week and have another game and this, that, and the other thing. So like Rachel used the word fester a second ago. That's probably the right word.
thanks for your validation. It's really important to me.
It's probably not.
Speaking of festering,
But aside from just like frustration, in practice and whatnot, like, is there any possible good that comes out of, the next 10 days of training? Dave's like, hold on, let me check Twitter. Please hold.
Ozzy's potential return is good. Figuring out that you don't need through balls to Will Bruin when he's 40 yards away from their goal is good.
Aren't we going to get
He loves
Rodriguez
those.
back to you, though?
I'm much less confident in Rodriguez coming back into. Now, it's been almost a week since I was at practice last, so that might change. But
How dare you?
at least with Ozzy, I've seen him as a full participant for a couple weeks now. So when he was listed as out, I was actually surprised because this was supposed to be the last game was supposed to be a scheduled return in this, and he's been a full participant for probably 2 weeks. So I'm frustrated with that. Not that having another defensive midfielder would have solved what happened. Well, maybe it would have, because then you could have pushed Gustav, and it would have helped.
I mean, then those
Having
times
better
that-
talent on the field always helps.
But I mean, Ozzy as the D mid back there with Roldan, when you had sent up Torres for like that 4 or 5 minute stretch where he was basically the person moving the ball forward. I mean, that could have changed the dynamic of the game.
But wait, I need your opinion. Is Ozzy important to the squad?
Yes.
Are
And
you
just
sure?
because the Sounders have been good a couple times without Ozzy Alonso doesn't mean that they're okay without him. Sorry, Internet. Sorry, not sorry.
Ray Sorry looks good. Oh, wait, sorry.
That's a good song, too. Emily would be proud.
She would be.
So, anything other than Ladero, Fry continuing to be a badass, and a couple of moments here and there, is there any real takeaway from Saturday night that you're like, okay, they can work with that? Like, that means something.
There's a little bit from the toughness that they displayed when they went down a man. Like, they don't give up. And that's kind of, Schmetz mentions this all the time, but that's kind of what they'll need to do if they're going to make a run, is they're going to have to accept that these are just 3 games. Like, every team loses 3 games in a row at some point in the season. So if they're going to be a competent MLS squad this year, if it ends at 3 games, it's good.
I was going to say I learned not to drink Jameson in between games.
So you're off for 10 months?
Like in between games, or
Mark went to the Mariners
Oh.
game,
Oh,
Okay.
he did a double.
and we
it's like in 2 weeks you weren't allowed to drink Jameson. That's kind of ridiculous.
and at some point Mark started the day, I believe, publicly started the day with a Coors Light,
Kurz.
24 ounces.
Gotta hydrate.
For real. The best is Sparks has just gotta hydrate. Like it wasn't even a thought. To which the rest of us were all like, yeah, sounds appropriate.
It's interesting with having her drinking a very dark beer because normally she drinks the Tecate.
Well, if I'm not drinking Tecate, then I'm drinking a stout or a porter.
So I had
Do you even know me, Dave?
2 Tecate Lights.
No, I don't.
I had 2 Tecate Lights before the game,
Okay.
and I was super refreshed afterwards.
Yeah,
You know
I
what else they call that?
I know.
Dasani.
It is in a blue can, so
It is in a blue can. It's not a Coca-Cola product. Anyway.
So would it
visit
make it a
Tipton.
Pepsi then?
Good place. Nice.
thank you.
Are you having a good time there, Dave?
It's a lot of tape.
We gave Dave
A lot of tape.
the jacked up mic because we like guests, and we
Do you? I don't get that feeling.
You made her wait, Tom.
Well, no. We like our guests.
And then it took you forever to set up. So, like, do you really like us? Or
Okay. So
aren't you glad that I'm here?
moving on.
Hey, there was an S2 game last week, too.
There was an S2 game last week.
They
and,
lost.
I didn't get to make any friends.
Yes, you did. You
Yeah.
talked to James Riley.
No, I didn't get to make any friends in their section, so it was kind of a bummer.
Sadly.
Oh, no one yelled at you for popping smoke.
No.
That was in the
Yeah, that was after the match.
I was already in the car by that point.
That's one of my better photos. You can't see me at all. It's just green.
So, yeah. And right now, I think that the first team, like half of my 9 stupid ideas might actually be like better than they're doing right now. So maybe David Olsen and Felix Chinkham need to be signed because
That's a good point. What do you?
when you're attacking options or Alex Roldan, you're not going to score. So you might as well have a David Olsen or a Felix Chinkham around. And
But
both
how do
of
you
them
feel
look
about David Estrada?
really good.
The dark one that she's drinking.
Yeah.
And
So
could I actually do a liter?
my confidence within the next month, like before the window closes, basically, I believe they will sign at least one player in that time.
Okay. So
But yeah,
there was a comment in the room here.
Cool.
One other good thing that did happen: the Sounders U17. Thanks, Jerry.
yes, the U17s managed to beat the Red Bulls in the second tier. Like they essentially won the NIT version
The baby bowls
of the GA Cup. The NIT, not the main one. So like they weren't in the division with like Real Madrid. They were in the division with a team from Japan that got beat 6-1 by the Sounders. But still,
6-1 is better than
can we sign
than
any of
that
those
Dortmund game.
2 of them
the other
are
night.
actually professional players already. Both Ray Serrano and Azriel Gonzalez were on that GA U17 roster. Both of them scored during the tournament. So that's part of why S2 struggled a little bit, is because they didn't have some of their signings. So when you're lacking 3 of your pros due to various youth team stuff, yeah.
That's hilarious. So JJ points out that he's lost 10 pounds and saved $75 at the stadium so far this season.
By not going.
No, I was talking about that one.
I know, I saw that. Part 2. And the U17s won down a player.
Yeah, they played down a man and managed to
I mean, it seems
both
to be
not give up a
popular.
goal and to score.
They're
But they
trying to-
remembered how to score goals, so that's super important
Right.
to win soccer games.
I did.
I don't know
enjoy
if you know that.
That friend of the friend of the show, Sarah McNally, the other day pointed out that we should just have a starting a starting 10 from now on. Just start 10.
And like
get it
add an
over with.
11th at halftime.
Player on. And like if you still have 11 eligible players at that point, just send one in. Change the dynamic a little bit.
Or start with 12.
I mean, you
Figure out which one they send off.
you could do that. Wow.
Ross Fletcher said the same thing.
He did.
Made me a little sad.
It made everyone really sad, actually. I think there was actual tears.
Did you just mansplain my feelings to me?
No.
Did you?
It's not very comfortable sitting between
No.
these two. There's going to be blows.
Children, if I have to turn around this car.
Oh, you're riding home together too, aren't you?
Yeah.
Like, literally, if I affirm anything that Rachel says, I will have mansplained. So I'm just going to nod.
I would.
Way to explain that to her.
Yeah, thanks. See,
I was
Mark's on
talking
my
to the
side now.
audience.
Or
Everyone here isn't just speaking to Rachel. Let's be clear. So, since we started late, and since we'll probably have some
The soccer
obnoxious
sucks.
show up in the comments, and there's no match this week, so it's not like we need to preview anything.
Would there be anything to preview anyways?
Come watch
So-
horrible soccer.
I don't know.
I put together like the Seattle soccer planner, and basically the relevant matches related to Seattle soccer are all rain internationals, because the U.S. women play Mexico twice within the week. Japan plays somebody,
That was
Vietnam?
just the right amount of dead air to pay off with nothing.
and then Australia. Lydia Williams, who hasn't suited up for the rain yet. She won't say it, but yes, she is the entire team.
Makes sense.
No rain, no Sounders. S2 are on the road on Saturday. So I personally recommend go to the movies.
Wow. Okay.
None of like most of those won't have like legal streaming even.
I will say the only thing I probably will do next week is,
I tried to give you a segue.
yeah, I know, but we're going to cover one last thing. The only thing I want to do next week is, in the meteor match of the weekend, is, as someone who hates Manchester's City and you, is watch Man City hopefully dismantle Manchester United and win the Premier League.
Oh, that's right. They can clinch this weekend.
It's disgusting.
Like Byron just clinched,
Convincingly.
and then I think Barcelona can also clinch, like next week. Like
So for
The
all the
best
people
leagues
out
in the
there who are
world
like,
are-
these leagues are so much better than your league. No one runs. No. There's like 3 teams in every league that run away with everything. And then there's Arsenal.
oh no,
who
now there's one team.
just looks up at everyone.
Well, my team might get relegated, so it's a
Yeah,
real
that's
big
cool.
bummer.
Yeah, but they have a
Nice.
really cool name.
Is it cool?
The Saints?
That's cool.
It's cooler than the Blues.
Well,
Like
yeah.
Man City, like
Like,
yeah,
most
root
things
for
are
the
better than
Blues. Like,
So.
yeah, that's cool.
We're good.
The Loons? Yeah, but no, the Saints are better.
Balloons.
Whenever they kick off.
And Wonderwall whenever the game's over.
Stupid.
Which is, it's a cool tradition.
If I didn't live here, I would be.
Did we?
With your 900-mile home trip.
Fuck you, Tom Green.
So Sarah, off camera, mentioned the Loons. And I was just telling Mark that when we ran the Tom Green, what is it? My bum is on the whatever song
Yeah.
about Minnesota to make the Loons joke. We totally got a copyright notice from YouTube about it. Adam was like, "How about we not do that again?"
Just did it.
What I want to know
Care.
is how in the world does Lickett make those commercials and never get a copyright
No
notice?
one knows. Yeah.
He's a wizard.
All right, so
He
let's
did compliment-
let's
Oh,
get down to what
wait,
we're actually here
There's
for.
one thing I wanted to talk about in the game.
It was
Now I
very
know
nice.
you were in the section, so you probably didn't see it, but the new hype video in Stadium is probably
Is that the one that featured a bunch of players that aren't playing for the Sounders right now?
Yeah, it was a lot of Ozzy and a lot of Dempsey, and it was really great.
I'm glad I wasn't the only one that noticed
It
that.
was fun.
they did the they used some of the Inception bass drop in moments of it. It was more like a movie trailer than any of their previous ones.
Lickett should give them.
Plus, about 50% of it was about the fans rather than the team.
We've been pointed
So
out
that
that
was pretty cool.
that it's been pointed out that Bayern has not clinched yet.
Oh, is
And
it
that if-
next week?
If Schalke wins out,
And Byron loses out. Yeah. So
if Bayern totally loses out, so go Schalke?
nah.
No, sorry, but good call. Anyway, so let's talk about what we're actually here. to
Oh, good. The
discuss
fun
tonight.
part.
The fun part. Do you want more tape?
My mic went limp when I said fun part.
That actually couldn't have been any better.
Awkward.
Wow.
Yikes.
Damn. So, last week we were discussing Coco and the Disney bracket.
Did you just notice that? Yeah. Oh my god.
Well, because yours was in the way.
It
And
wasn't. You could still see half of it.
maybe really, really fortunately, we decided that this week. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. After Rachel gate-kept Disney on the internet and said
Always.
we're not allowed to talk about Disney at all
Always.
without her present. That's a fact.
Yep.
We just decided that we would have a little go at brackets and such. And I think in the spirit of brevity for tonight, we're just going to have a little bit of a run at both Megan and Rachel's Disney brackets, which they have seeded 32 animated Disney and Pixar films.
And unlike that silly one that's been out there that kind of started, the meme that started all
wrong
of this,
one.
The garbage one.
No, you're wrong.
the SonarFeed version of the brackets includes all Disney animated films as an option, not just the ones from Aladdin forward. Right? Isn't that the cutoff from the Mermaid forward?
Yeah, I definitely did.
Well, no, there's still all the animated only, but
Snow White in there.
yep. So
So we are all in, all animation.
But it was for history.
So,
all fully animated.
so I would say why don't we break these down? Who wants to go first?
You can go first if you want. Yours is on.
There's a lot of prep that is being displayed right now. We should have discussed this with them while the show
So-
was being started.
So it's on the screen in front of you guys.
Yeah.
Why don't you break down the bracket for us? And you put specific numbers next to everyone, if I'm recalling correctly. So the official, all-in seeding.
Yeah.
But the
and
top in each of the four is
that
the number
came
one
with
seed in the bucket.
bracket that I
Got it.
downloaded.
Good selection.
So this is the first bracket I've ever done. So
Wait, so you haven't been that person who wins the NCAA bracket while not caring?
I don't care about college ball so hard that I don't even mess
Wow.
around with the brackets.
So you discare.
Which college were you at?
I went to Seattle University.
Oh, that's right. They didn't
But
even
I
have a
drew-
men's program, and
yeah.
they didn't.
It's just been lower.
yeah.
But I do root for Syracuse because of family things, but I don't really care that much.
So your top four seeds that'd be
Yeah. So what is it? Beauty and the Beast and Lion King. Did I do Coco? Did I move that? I tweaked it this morning. Beauty.
so you basically got kind of three different eras in there.
Yeah. I'd put Beauty and the Beast and Lion King in the same era, but
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
but Sleeping Beauty, you're going
yeah.
way old, and Coco clearly recent.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, so I got the list of 60, 70 movies and
just immediately
kept-
cut half of
yeah.
them out, right?
Yeah.
Although
And
I
then
did
cut a few
notice
more.
that The Emperor's New Groove made it into your bracket.
I finally watched that for the first time in the last few months
And you
it was
basically
really
put them
cute.
there, so they could be immediately slain by Coco.
She did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that was intentional.
Megan
was-
did rate them 1 to 32,
yeah,
and
then
Emperor's New Groove was
I
30.
Tweaked them a little bit. There were a couple where I just also couldn't figure out how to change them and like what the change was. So like I don't like Snow White, but it's in there for history because it was the first one.
Mark, you have the microphone.
I have a question.
No.
Go for it, Mark.
Jungle Book at 31.
Ooh, I know about this one a
Yeah,
little
that
bit.
was a late edition. I had Toy Story 3 on there, and that was more like public sentiment, and decided to swap that out because I had the first Toy Story.
Okay, so Rachel, really quick, we're going to get you in here. You also
Okay.
have the Jungle Book in yours.
I do.
And was it kind of a late entry
No.
in yours?
No, I did my Disney side first, and then I did my Pixar side because I feel that they should be separated because it's not equal to have them up against each other.
But
But it was
for you, that was a deserving film
Jungle
for
Book
both.
is
of you.
great.
So Mark's wrong.
But
Got
like,
it.
there's a major. There are
That's not a
a
surprise.
couple of major differences between your brackets.
Yes.
But I would say one of them is that you have Frozen as your number 9 overall, Megan.
Yeah.
Rachel, on the other hand, has Frozen somewhere in her top 4. So that's a pretty distinct flip for one of what many people believe is a top
But,
seed.
but we know Rachel. Like,
Obviously, none of you do.
no,
Laura
no.
would not be surprised.
I understand
However,
why
I wouldn't be
you put it
surprised.
there. I'm just pointing out that it's a big movie. A lot of people have strong opinions about, and I think it's pretty interesting that Frozen is 9 for you, and it's 1, 2, 3, or 4, depending on how Rachel decided to mix up this bracket for us.
well, they do share 2 of the top 4.
Correct.
Both of them have Coco and Sleeping Beauty in the top 4.
Well, Sleeping Beauty is the best Disney movie
Somebody's just like, boom, like,
Do you want to tell us why?
because it is. Sleeping Beauty is superior to all other Disney movies, and Coco is the best Pixar movie. There's no real competition there. Frozen is amazing, but it doesn't quite do what Sleeping Beauty did. It was beautiful. There's a lot of fun little quirks about Sleeping Beauty, like changing Aurora's dress between pink and blue was just because the artist couldn't decide, so they decided to change the actual movie itself to make it a competition between 2 of her fairy godmothers, and I don't know, it's just better. I love Frozen, obviously. However,
We've heard that on the internet.
Sleeping Beauty, which was about a Boston Terrier.
Do you want to tell us why?
Like, have you seen Zoe? She's the greatest thing
I
that's
have,
ever
but not
existed.
everyone may have seen Zoe.
Well, that's their problem. Sarah watched Zoe for 2 weeks and can back up my claims. But the fact that Disney created a short that was about the dog that I'm obsessed with, I felt kind of targeted, and I feel a connection to that movie more so because of the short before it than because of the movie itself. The movie was great, but...
So Megan and Rachel, you both, we've been kind of flipping through this throughout like the early show. Megan, was there one that was on like Rachel's bracket where you're like, oh, I totally like forgot that one, or?
I haven't looked at all of Rachel's bracket.
Should have memorized. No.
I mean, I think we have a lot of overlap.
Yep.
If I had like days to prepare this, I would have known like which were shared and like.
Yeah, like I just like now I see Pinocchio, and that was one of the ones where it was like Pinocchio and Lady and the Tramp and Jungle Book and kind of Peter Pan. Those are all kind of in the same clump in my head, and I went with Jungle Book just because I watched it the most, I think, and I think it's got really strong music.
I think I could probably sing along with the Jungle Book tunes if they were started to play right now, because I remember that one a lot from when I was a kid. That was a while ago. long while ago. What about you, Rachel? Was there stuff on Megan's bracket where you were like, oh, I totally could have seen that or should have done that?
No, because I don't forget Disney movies. So,
Damn.
That's a very Rachel answer.
sorry.
You have a couple of, if we were doing this like it was straight up basketball,
Yep.
there's a couple of matchups, again, that both of you have. Like Little Mermaid, Lion King, round 1.
Boom.
Like, people in the chat were already like, this is better than the brackets that I've seen on the internet.
I mean, I know, but
Which is why we're having the show right now, basically. But like Little Mermaid, Lion King, was that just to punish the shit out?
But what's the fun of not having things start off difficult? Like, that's kind of the point of the competition. I only seeded things. I haven't.
We've only seeded, so what I think we're going to do is try and... The original idea was, do we try and smurge everyone's brackets and then come up with the one that we get everyone who views the show to
Well, we could
pick?
use these 32s to make 64s.
That's
I mean, that would sort of work.
sort of not work at all.
Not really.
No, probably just
We
48.
get up at like 40-something.
Yeah, I think we get to 48 pretty easily.
Anyway, the ideal situation would be
No,
for
I'm
us to
trying to
just
do
seed
the
it out.
Women's NCAA used to do a 48.
Yeah.
I could figure that out with all my spare time driving around King County.
So
You should probably not do that while driving, though.
if we were to
It'd be stunned
say
what I do while driving.
I don't want Sleeping Beauty, Beauty and the Beast, Princess and the Frog, Moana, Frozen, Tangled, Robin Hood, Little Mermaid.
You took a pause there on Dalmatians versus Robin Hood.
I like dogs. Coco, Cars,
Ooh.
Finding Nemo, Up, Incredibles, Monsters Inc., Brave, Bug's Life.
What?
It says Finding Dory.
yeah,
Finding
dude,
Nemo is up
Finding
there.
Dory.
I really
Finding
liked
Dory was
Finding
good.
Dory.
It's very good.
Also, I didn't see Finding Nemo, so it was
Then
really
why
weird.
are you outraged? I don't understand.
Well, because I liked Finding Dory better than Bug's Life.
yes.
According to Rachel, who you can't doubt.
Interesting.
You should not be fooled into believing that Finding Dory is better because of the otters. I'm just saying.
Then, again, can you jam through these for us?
They
Oh
were
God.
good, though.
Okay.
Well, she did a whole... we have her seating number, so if she's...
We'll know if she picks underdogs.
Oh. You're...
Because there's some that I included,
Don't
like
let
for
them bully you.
posterity.
Just do it yourself.
Yeah.
Ignore Dave.
I also kind of like started at the end and worked my way back a little bit. I go, I think, Beauty and the Beast, Wall-E, Frozen, Incredibles, Sleeping Beauty. Shit. Tonight I'm going to say Dalmatians. Mulan. Fuck. Toy Story. See, that one's rough. Because I really love Pocahontas. Lion King, Up, because I haven't actually seen Inside Out. Little Mermaid, Robin Hood, Coco,
Sorry, Heba.
Aladdin, Sword in the Stone, which that one hurt a lot, and Moana.
So you went against your bracket
A little bit.
a couple bit. Twice, I think.
Therapist Lisa will be bringing you inside out.
All right, so why don't you give us your final four? Don't screw it up.
God.
Do you go with your seeds, or do you see an upset in there?
I would. I'd probably just go with the seed.
Run us through that because our listeners can't see it. With
So-
Adam not here, we don't have that technology.
Yeah.
Fuck you,
brackets.
motherfucker. You mean this? That's on the screen
Oh,
here?
I wish he was on mic right now because Mark just said "fuck you, motherfucker" and put it up on the monitor. Very proud of you, Mark.
Good job. Way to go.
I think
Nothing
the
says
Stone might
Disney films like "fuck you, motherfucker."
might be Coco today.
What do you
don't
think,
know.
Sword in the Stone?
Well, so with Sword in the Stone, when I was a kid and we would rent videos, I would always get like a Care Bear movie and the Sword in the Stone. So I've seen Sword in the Stone dozens of times, and I've seen Coco once, and I loved it. But I'm also feeling sentimental right now.
So what you're saying is
I need to
Coco
talk for-
loses.
Ugo right now. You are crazy. Okay, he had Coco winning his bracket.
Of course.
Yeah. I had Beauty and the Beast winning mine. So
Or that's heard Hugo once.
All right, so you have Beauty and the Beast, Sword in the Stone.
or Coco. I don't know, man.
So we'll flip. We'll come
No,
back.
man, 11 seeds can make the run. We know this.
What? Did you say Sleeping Beauty
Yeah, and Lion King.
and Lion King? Okay, so your seeds in general,
Yeah,
or Dark Horse, Sword in the Stone.
could be Sword in the Stone, man.
So if you had another beer,
Yeah,
would it be Coco or Sword in the Stone?
I'm betting with another beer.
I'd
it
be
goes.
singing the songs from the Sword in the Stone.
Well,
But again, because I've only seen Coco one time, but it was gorgeous and amazing and wonderful.
I'm so excited for SonarFeed questions you don't even know.
No. I do what I want. Sleeping Beauty, Frozen, Coco, and Brave. Thanks.
Brave had my man Chuck, right? He sang?
No, that's Tangled.
Oh.
Nice try.
No, they came out a couple, like,
Despite being English, I do enjoy Brave, about a very fiery Scottish woman. So,
All right, so
I like how I could say Chuck, and you're like, no,
I
that
would
actor
say
played.
let's
he's
do a
Finn.
poll.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
and
Got
we'll
you.
get people to pick which bracket they like better.
I
You don't have to do it right this
minute.
minute. Why don't you put us back on?
I'm sorry.
Oops.
But why don't we put a poll? We're going to put a poll on Twitter. We're just going to put y'all head to head.
The brackets?
We're going to put the brackets head to head.
Okay.
I was going to quote you, and I can't even remember the quote
And
anymore.
then that is the official bracket.
You should just read Will's Twitter.
And then we're going to get
Thanks,
people
Will.
to submit brackets. And then we're going to come up with some kind of cockamamie way to decide which one was the best. And then Rachel will probably punch that person in the face for not picking the way she would have picked.
Well, they're wrong if they don't pick what I pick, so it doesn't matter.
So that's the prize. No, I already said that I would buy someone the DVD or Blu-ray of Coco.
Of
Based on
Coco.
the winner. So next step is we're going to vote on these
It
two
should
brackets.
be whatever wins.
Whichever
Coco.
one wins.
That's what you buy the DVD or Blu-ray of.
I mean, we could do that. We'll be like, cool, more copies of Coco for me. We can do that. So how about this? First thing we're going to do is we're going to get people to vote on which of the two brackets they like better. So campaign hard. You two. You don't. We'll do it later. Please hold. So I do.
Couldn't last you.
I gotta get you. I need to.
Yes.
Why don't we do this in a minute?
That's going to happen post-show, not during show.
Yeah.
We've decided.
We're gonna have that happen later. So let's do SonarFeed questions because
Oh, SonarFeed questions for both?
that's fun.
We haven't done a double SonarFeed question ever.
Do you want the list just so you have it, or you think you got it?
We're good, excuse me.
Cool. I even remember what most of them are at this point. All right, let's just get it out of the way. Which historical figure do you like and want to go in a bouncy house with?
Megan's closer to the mic, so she has to answer first.
I have thought about this since that question started on this show, and thank God Christian just reminded me. Young Teddy Roosevelt.
Like the Rough Riders?
Yeah.
Okay.
With that,
Even younger. Maybe like Harvard boxing Roosevelt with the chops. Yeah.
Rachel.
I don't know, because bouncing in bounce houses with dead people seems really problematic. So, I don't know. I don't care. They're dead. Yeah, that works. He'd be fun.
Who?
Don't worry about it.
No. Who?
It was an actor that Sarah and I were talking about earlier who
cool.
had just recently passed away, but not him. But he would be fun if he was his character.
Oh, we're leaving it up to me. I'm going to go... I'm just going to get this one out of the way. Tupac or Biggie? Isn't that the question? Rachel.
Tupac.
Megan.
Tupac.
I like you both.
Okay.
And since Tom's still eating... Oh, Mark's...
Yeah. I'm trying to decide what I want to go with, though.
All right.
Best recent purchase under $100.
Under $100. I don't know. Probably any lipstick that I own.
I just went on a trip to New York City to see some shows, and one of my tickets was under $100. It was for this off-Broadway play called Hangman, written by Martin McDonough, who had been nominated for the screenplay for 3 Billboards. And
I
it
just
was
watched 3
amazing.
Billboards.
And I had a front row seat, so I was like a foot and a half away from the stage.
Front row for under $100
and
bucks?
it was awesome.
Was that the day of ticket booth? Like,
No, the show
How did you
sold
do
out,
that?
so they extended it.
and
I'm-
still under 100 for front.
for the first 2 rows. And then most of the other rows were like 120.
Well done.
Favorite Girl Scout cookie?
S'mores, obviously.
Same. It's the only thing I'll eat coconut in.
Do you have another question?
I don't like things that taste like
Okay.
my mouthwash or toothpaste. It got like injected into my food, so anything mint flavored is inferior.
Okay, but tagalongs.
Delicious. Underrated.
Okay.
Not the best, though.
What are?
No.
Tagalongs?
Tagalongs. They're like a
Tagalongs are
protein
pretty-
bar.
I'm a fan.
I'm going to ask Ugo's question. Favorite type of taco?
Carne asada.
Fish or ground beef?
I know where you grew up, so the ground beef tacos that you grew up with are like... Ugo's eaten one of my ground beef tacos before. Oh, goodness. Do you have a favorite taqueria or taco restaurant where you go to get them?
No.
Okay, so I can't send Hugo to those to do a review for his blog that he updates every 3 or 4 months.
What would your last meal be on death row? Records.
For your announcement to Death Row Records, what are they?
Probably mac and cheese.
Like homemade mac and cheese?
Side note.
Yeah, no, I want Kraft mac and cheese as last
say
fucking
that.
meal. Fuck you, Tom. Fuck you.
Rachel's dinner tonight here at the Berliner Pub, 3rd Main, downtown Renton,
Was mac and cheese.
was the Spätzle and cheese with bacon
Yes.
in the cast iron.
And
They-
it's probably still hot.
I don't know that I would trust a prison with a really good steak, so I'm going to say Taco Time crisp
the
burritos.
ruling is it's not cold.
Ooh,
Wait,
now
whoa,
that they
whoa,
have
whoa.
4 standard crisp burritos, which is your favorite?
I have beef. I would stick with the beef.
They accidentally gave me a chicken tonight rather than beef.
That's happened, and it's not the best surprise.
No, I really wanted a beef.
Mm-hmm.
If I wanted chicken, I would have gone habanero chicken. Because that's really good. That's a good addition to the Taco Time core.
Weird. If you wanted chicken, you would have ordered it.
Yeah, there's also that.
Crazy.
Yeah. But
Can we have
if I
Rachel on
wanted-
the show every week?
Just like in a
I'm
side
just going to
booth,
clarify
sniping the entire time?
dumb thing you just said.
No, but if I wanted chicken, I would have gotten the habanero hot chicken, not their standard chicken, because their standard chicken's kind of just like cream cheese and chicken.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's gross.
Habanero chicken is
No,
better.
you're wrong.
Oh, you're wrong.
Both of you are wrong, actually.
All right.
So.
What was
Lisa's-
the last book you read?
I am reading, Sarah, what's the 4th in the Outlander series? Fifth? Fifth. Sure. Whatever that is.
She's judging.
Flying Amber. Voyager, Drums of Autumn.
Drums of Autumn?
No, it's the fifth one. Aren't you reading the fifth one right now?
No, I'm reading this. Fiery Cross.
Yeah, that.
So the fifth movie in the Outlander.
It's a
book.
You just asked me about a book.
Sorry,
which
so
I believe
I
I'll let
watched
you
a
know
television
what book
show.
I'm reading.
So I've been
Roughly
stuck in this
occurs
weird TV
in, like,
thing.
season 3, right?
Season 3, yeah.
Okay. Interesting side note: the author that created Outlander is a literary judge at the Surrey, British Columbia fiction,
Sorry.
and it is unprompted. Like, they don't care topic. They're just like, it's up to X number of words, and it's only a $15 entry. And so I'm probably just going to say fuck it and do it because it's an unprompted, so I can just submit whatever I want. It's like 2,500 to 5,000 words is all. Why not? Because I really like her writing, and I really, really... One of the things I missed the most about working at NBC News was that I got stars for free. So I watched Outlander until I got cut off because I don't want to pay for stars because I'm cheap. Sorry. Megan,
I
last
read
book you're reading.
Vacation
it's not about me.
Land by John Hodgman.
It's a good selection.
Lisa's question, this is the question we added for Lisa, and she knows the book. So that's kind of...
Dave, what's the last book you read?
I'm currently rereading Stephen Bruce's book Hawk, which is set in his Jerrig world. It's a rather stereotypical fantasy fiction novel that the original stuff comes in his world building, not necessarily in the plot.
What the fuck are you doing?
So
Villanova wins, beating Michigan.
Good.
does
fuck
that mean that
Michigan.
Matt Oak made money or lost money?
Oh, he already posted a GIF. He made money.
Good. Megan?
Yes.
When somebody plays you in the movie about Megan's life, who's going to play you?
Can I do a cop out and say somebody who's currently undiscovered?
That is
Okay.
a serious fucking cop out.
I know.
I mean, not Wesley Snipes?
I mean, I think he could do a good job.
Because that's my favorite answer to that was when we asked Eddie Johnson, and
That was-
Steve Zakuani
yeah.
in the background goes, Wesley Snipes.
Ron Funches, according
Mike
to my
Facito
sister.
turned 32.
Are you allowed to?
Rachel.
Are you allowed to be enamored by him anymore? Now that he's 32.
It's still legal.
Oh God.
Reggaeton.
I would say Ruth Connell,
What would we know Ruth Connell from?
Supernatural. I named my cat
I
after
know
one
what
of her characters.
Supernatural is. What
What did you guys? What did you guys rip off? Like what? 200-300 tweets this afternoon about Supernatural between the two of you?
Literally like 4.
What-
So fuck you.
Literally
It was-
like 4
it was
so fuck
230.
you. That's-
Yes.
Okay. No, I want to know, how come you weren't at the Supernatural Con with Sarah?
Because it's dumb. Yeah.
Okay, that's a good answer. Like, I did the cheap ass Renton Comic Con, and that was like $50 for a weekend.
It's like $300 just to get in for a day, and then it's
like the add-ons and all.
yeah, it's dumb.
That seems excessive.
And yeah.
It's a lot. Too much.
Okay. What do we got on? Oh, you're loading.
It's your
up.
turn.
It's my turn. I just
You didn't just go.
favorite D&D character. Yes, I just asked them who would play them in a movie. Favorite D&D character that
just
you
messing with
have
you, Dave.
or would play.
Gaslighting Dave next week
I
on
literally have no
SonarFeed.
idea how to answer that question, so I'll let you answer it for me. Choose wisely. I'll somehow know that it's wrong. If it's
Well-
wrong.
This one is actually fairly easy for you due to your love of both Frozen and Supernatural. You would be a warlock of the Ice Queen.
Okay.
The reaction is
The
so
people that
good.
know, like it basically means you get your magical powers because you're dedicated to the Ice Queen.
Wouldn't I be a witch though?
Warlocks and witches are basically same. One's male, one's female. So yes.
Thanks.
Are you gonna cut me and hurt me too?
The bard a thing?
Bards are still a thing,
Cool. That's it. I have no idea.
like
Is that a good
Shakespeare.
one? Yeah. I went to Shakespeare camp. Yeah.
I know.
I know,
I'm
right?
so jealous.
They're doing it again next January.
I probably can't afford that. Mark.
Mark doesn't know what to say.
Excuse me, I've been to the Shakespeare Festival in Ashland.
She went to like a weekend, like
Yeah, but
in the
that's-
wilderness.
We're talking about me.
But you went to WSU. Do you actually know who Shakespeare is?
I have a.
He knows what Idaho is. Hey, Mark.
Fucking nothing.
It's got a broken soul. I'm familiar with it. I just had it earlier.
What advice would you give yourself in 2008?
Avoid
10 years
Tom
ago,
Bureau and Mark Nesteroff.
Right? Duh.
I don't make mistakes.
Hey, she knows our names, though.
Save more money.
So yes.
Savings accounts are good.
Having savings is good.
Yeah.
What words or phrases do you overuse?
No, that's Tom.
I haven't said it in like 2 weeks.
I will end you, David. I don't know. Do I oversay anything, really?
Let it go.
Fuck you.
Do I really oversay that, though?
I
Or
mean,
do I say
no.
it not enough?
Probably not enough.
There
yeah.
we go.
I think you might overuse I will end you, David,
I've said that once in my life.
twice tonight.
She
both
called you
times.
David.
No.
I have not called you David.
Oh,
except
I
for
will
this
end
one
you.
time.
You used twice.
Probably.
I'm gonna throw it to my siblings to answer that.
Pretty much
Probably
the answer
like dude. I say
expected.
dude a lot.
Dude.
Dude. Yeah. Rad. Dude. Basically like 90s slang.
I'm
Oh
familiar.
dear. Oh dear. Yeah. Oh dear.
Do you have a question? What was the last concert?
I think so. No, I saw Gogo Bordello in February when I came home from Florida at the Neptune, and it was amazing. But before that, it was with you. We went and saw AFI on my birthday.
Mark, I have a new one to add. To our list.
You can just add it to the bottom.
Your last concert, Megan?
I think it was Dunyan. They're a Swedish psychedelic rock band. And
Okay, I'm going to ask Tim all about that then.
And also tomorrow I'm gonna go see The Darkness. So ask me
Nice.
again on Wednesday. It'll be a different answer. Yeah,
No
the
one
singer
knows
came
that.
back, and they're apparently doing really well right now.
So this is going to be new to the SonarFeed questions, but I think I'm going to ask it from now on. It's inspired by Rachel being here and not stabbing me. What is your
she's
favorite
not done yet.
theme park?
Is there more to that question?
No, what's your
that
favorite
was a very
theme park?
awkward way to end that. Disneyland.
Yeah, Disneyland.
Land for both of you.
Disney World is fun, but it's too big and it's too much of a pain to get from park to park. With Disneyland Resort, you can walk across the Esplanade and go to California Adventure, and it doesn't require you to take the monorail or a bus or some sort of other vehicle.
Or just say tomorrow.
Yeah, you can just literally walk across this
Yeah. Florida's
2,000
theme parks
foot
are both
area.
like enormous.
Yeah,
Mark has a comment.
I mean,
Do you,
I don't care.
Do you know how you could get the mean girls angry? Say SeaWorld.
We're just gonna move on. What was the last gift you gave someone?
Gift?
Gift with a T, not.
My presents to all of you.
See, she said presents, not presents.
No, that's a gift to you.
Just stop. Okay.
I gave my brother-in-law a coffee store gift card for his birthday.
Well done.
He drinks a lot of coffee.
I love the fact that Rachel gives exactly the answers you think Rachel will give, and we just move on. We're like, oh.
Megan also gives the answers that we. Although the darkness kind of surprised me.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Their karaoke is really terrible.
When, yeah. It went,
It got bad
it
enough
just
that
started.
Tom no longer participates.
Fuck you, Dave Clark.
I
But
blame
doesn't
them,
that make
not
it
you.
Better, though?
No, Tom's actually pretty good at karaoke as
He's
long as
good at
it's the Spin Doctors.
But by the way, Lickett said he came to see Rachel punch someone
Soul
in the
Asylum.
face. So far, he's disappointed.
I'll let that happen, Lickett. I'll let it. Yeah, we'll
There's still
make
time.
sure it happens.
What's Lickett upset
Don't worry
about?
it.
That no one's been punched in the face yet.
And that's why he came to see.
When you hear the word successful, who do you think of?
If I hear the words, what?
Successful.
That's one word. You said words.
When you hear the word successful,
Okay.
that's what I said.
Pretty sure you said it plural. But okay.
No,
The first time it was plural.
I didn't.
you.
I merged the word and successful.
Is it because
into
you're
one-
from New Jersey and you don't know how to enunciate?
It's what he learned at Rutgers.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
Wouldn't be SonarFeed without a
the
Rutgers
word
mention.
successful, colon. Who do you think of when you hear it? Question mark.
No one who's here
Cool.
or our president. I'm not sure. Zoe, I don't know. She's successful. She's kind of internet famous.
Wait, who'd you say?
Not
My dog.
Ozzy?
Nice.
I'm mad at him.
Oprah.
Oprah,
has
yeah.
an empire. That's cool.
That's a good answer. So for
Money.
about 15 years of my public relations career, you'd ask people, clients, like what would be their ultimate hit? Like what would be the one placement that they really want to have? And 90% of the time, 90% of the time it was Oprah.
I want to be on Oprah.
Yeah. And it would be like, your product will literally never be on Oprah, ever. And they were like, Oprah.
Dream big.
I mean, okay. David.
When you play soccer, what shoes do you wear?
So that was kind of a mean question there, Dave. Way to bring up the old shit.
I answered Sambas 20 years ago because that was true. I don't play anymore.
Okay.
I've got a pair of Nike cleats that I wore once.
I understand that too. I still own a pair of cleats.
At a kick around. I
Yeah.
don't think I've played like a game of soccer since elementary school
Almost same.
in the 90s.
What is what is your favorite pickup line?
None of them. It makes me want to bash people in the head. So if
That's a good
anyone
answer.
ever possibly tries to use a pickup line on me, I don't know if they're actually even worth me acknowledging them or if I should just like.
You are negging everyone right now.
I don't have time for shit like that.
Okay.
If you're talking to Rachel in order to pick her up, you're wrong. Is that the short version?
Yep.
I have a feeling it's going to be a similar.
Yeah, if I don't really like being approached, but one time at a bar, the Rolling Stones were playing, and this guy came up and he was like, "I'm looking for a honky tonk woman," and that would not be on my list of pickup lines that I liked or that worked.
Did you actually stab him? Because someone should have.
It was what was funny was it was like in an Irish pub, so you're not gonna find a honky tonk woman there. But I was just like, cool. And luckily, we had just signed the check and peaced
And
out.
now I'm leaving.
I think Dave
Mark,
just died a
how do you
little.
feel about that?
Is that the original Price is Right?
Yeah.
I don't think I can top that with like anything, really. if we were playing foosball, right? Who do you
Pairs
think?
or singles?
Pairs.
I
Would
think
you let me
he's
maybe?
trying to get there, Dave.
Would you
He's-
let me get there? Who would you want on your team? Pinot or Fishlock?
You know.
Like, no question.
Wait, on foosball?
Yep.
Megan?
Fishlock.
Were you the new internet?
Like the television
Skynet?
show or
Yeah. That's already happened. Yeah. Yes, the television show.
It'll be problematic still because that's what that show is.
What if they don't let Trump on it?
Then it would be better.
Megan, what's your opinion?
Of what again? What?
When the guys on Silicon Valley create the new internet?
Is that like dividing by 0 and everything will just disappear?
I mean, that's not an answer I thought was
Just
going to
say
happen. Yes.
There you go.
3.
Good boy.
All right. Last question. What is something you believe but other people think is crazy?
No. I'm Passed. Stupid question.
So you got nothing? You're like, she's like, I'm not even giving you an answer.
Wagon wheel.
I will not do that.
Ghosts.
I think we should just keep the show on.
Yeah.
And just let Sparks sit here and judge people doing karaoke. You don't even have to say anything. You could just look.
I didn't do that on purpose. I'm sorry. Not really sorry.
She'd just be like,
Oh my god.
that's an interesting song choice.
It'll be like a better version of American Idol or something. This is bad. You should never do this again. Stop singing forever.
Internet 2 is a real Minions or
I like Disney, not
This-
DreamWorks or whatever.
Okay, let's.
Inferior. So no.
We're gonna go back
we're
about a
going
half
back to
hour
this?
in the show.
Yeah.
Are there in the Universal umbrella animated movies that you have enjoyed?
like
None.
I don't waste my time.
Which just has no time for anything that she doesn't like. Have you ever not?
Yeah.
Is there
Best part
anything that you don't have a strong opinion
Great,
about?
the United
Yeah.
Kingdom of Great Britain and the blah blah blah. That isn't England.
Just Fishlock.
Oh yeah. Yep. She's literally a country, as I announced
It's
Yeah.
true.
very early in the game. Right, and it works. Works well.
And Doctor Who.
I guess
think
that
he
it's
might be
filmed in
England.
Wales.
Oh, is it?
Wales. Yeah.
Oh, is that
And-
kind of like every show set in Seattle is actually filmed in Vancouver?
Actually,
Vancouver?
I will change
Every
my
show
answer,
set
and
in
it's
England
David
is-
Tennant.
Seriously.
Tenny?
Dude, The Killing, they're at the Vancouver Rowing Club, and I'm like, I know the person in
It's a show that's now on Bravo, so I watched way too many ads for it because Kristen loves the Bravo shows, and that's why I'm here. But Imposter is bragging about how they're filmed in Vancouver, but most of it is it's split set in San Jose and Seattle. But they use Vancouver for everything, for both San Jose, California, and Seattle, Washington. Used, like, what part of Vancouver do you go to for your San Jose scenes?
Same part they use for Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Yeah.
No, because
Supernatural.
like I would go out
filmed
towards
in
like
Vancouver, and all of it is supposed to take place
Harrison Hot Springs, Abbotsford. Like,
everywhere in the U.S.
actually, no, that wouldn't get you
They
Sioux
did
Falls.
Problem, not mine.
It is their problem, actually.
And Megan, your Twitter handle?
So one evening, a few of my friends came over, and 2 of them were stoned, and we came up with really bad fake mobster names. And I was named Sugar Toes the Russian. So Sugar Toes.
Sugar Toast the Russian.
Yeah.
That is the thing that I thought your answer was going to be.
My stone friend's giving me a mobster name. Yeah.
Awesome. I got nothing. Mark, what's your Twitter name from?
Being a douchebag?
Ending show.
Good night. That's it. Done. Did you end the stream? No. You actually should have. Good night, everyone.